The history of the Cotyledon Ladismithiensis and its characteristics. Because of its circular shape, South African Cotyledon Ladismithiensis is also known as bear's paw. From the family Crassulaceae, this succulent remains green all year round. The leaves of this uncommon succulent are rounded and covered in yellow lines and tiny red fangs. The rounded leaves of the Cotyledon Ladismithiensis give it a fuzzy appearance. Guidelines for maintenance. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Sunlight. Cotyledon Ladismithiensis thrives in bright, indirect light, thus a slightly sunny windowsill is ideal. This plant needs a minimum of 6 hours of continuous sunlight per day in order to flourish. Humidity and temperature. This plant thrives in temperatures of 68 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and 50–70 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Cotyledon Ladismithiensis can survive the winter outdoors in USDA hardiness zones 9B to 11B, although this plant is better when brought inside for the season. Extra care is needed throughout the winter months since the plant might die from root damage if the soil stays too cold and wet for too long. Water requirements. This plant needs a long, slow soak in the summer and consistent moisture throughout its growing season. To prevent overwatering, it is important to let the roots dry out completely after watering, just like you would with any other succulent. To avoid over or underwatering your plants, the soak and drain technique is highly advised. If you want to try this method, simply bring the plant to the sink, give it a good soak, and then let it drain. Once the top 1 to 2 inches of soil have dried up, you may need to water your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis. Soil needs. Poor drainage and overwatering can cause the roots of this plant to rot, thus a soil composition that drains properly is essential for its survival. A succulent combination can be purchased from a garden center, or you can make your own by blending equal parts perlite, sand, and vermiculite. Fertilizer. If you want to fertilize your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis, you should do so once per month during the growing season but not at all during the winter. Use a water-soluble, all-purpose fertilizer for succulents on your plant. While feeding your plant isn't strictly necessary, it is recommended. Pest and disease. Your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis is a very sensitive plant, so please treat it with care. Keep an eye out for fungal illness from overwatering, mealybugs, and spider mites, all of which can stunt the development of your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis plants. Sap-sucking insects like mealybugs can cause immediate damage to your plant. Verify that no greenery on your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis has turned yellow, brown, or wilted to see if spider mites are to blame. You should also not overwater your Cotyledon Ladismithiensis, since this will make it more susceptible to pests and illnesses. Propagating Cotyledon Ladismithiensis. You may grow Cotyledon Ladismithiensis from seeds or stem cuttings. In most cases, trimming the stems or leaves will be more effective than doing nothing at all. Cutting leaves is a more laborious method of propagation since leaves can contain significant amounts of water. The leaf is kept together by being twisted at the base of the stem. In order to plant the newly propagated Cotyledon Ladismithiensis on soil, you must first wait for the leaf to become callous, which can take several days. A rooting powder can then be applied to further aid the plant's development. Always use a clean, preferably sterile knife for any cutting techniques. Plant seeds in fertile, well-drained soil and give them plenty of light to help them spread. Cotyledon Ladismithiensis, a houseplant that needs special attention during the colder months because it cannot live in its natural environment, must be brought indoors. Overwatering, illness, and insects are about the worst things that can happen to this plant, as is the case with practically all succulents. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos.